Good morning. Hello. I've got my big eyes on today, mostly because I'm drinking coffee a lot. I'm reaching for it right now. Anyways, today I'm going to read you a book called Just Ask, written by Justice Sonia Sotomayor, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. And this book is really important to me for a couple of reasons. We've talked a lot about how everybody can be different. Ooh, there goes a garbage truck. You're going to have to forgive the noise. Oh, no, it's a dump truck. Everybody's a little different. And everyone forgets to turn off their alarm in the morning. Everyone's a little different. And Sonia Sotomayor, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, also has a difference. She is diabetic and was born that way, meaning her body doesn't process sugar. And for her, that became kind of an important thing. So we're going to read Just Ask, and we're going to focus on identifying the main idea of a story or book and giving three. How many details? Three. Good. Giving three details from it to prove that we think, or why we think that is the main idea. Okay? So, mirrors on. I can identify the main idea of a book or story and give three details from it. Good. Mirrors off. All right, here we go. Just ask. Just ask. Be different, be brave, be you. By Justice Sonia Sotomayor, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. And we'll talk about why I keep calling her Justice Sotomayor. We're going to start with a letter to the readers. A letter to readers. I was born on June 25th, 1954, and in 1961, when I was 7 years old, I was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes. To take care of myself, I had to do things other kids did not. Sometimes I felt different. When kids saw me giving myself a needle shot of insulin, my medicine, I knew they were curious about what I was doing, but they never asked me, my parents, or my teachers about it. I also often felt they thought I was doing something wrong. As I grew older, I realized that there are many ways to be, that I was not alone in feeling different. I wanted to write this book to explain how differences make us stronger in a good way. Like my experiences with diabetes, the challenges some kids face may be very hard and sometimes frustrating. Some of us have conditions that require medicines or tools to manage things that other kids never have to deal with. Some of our difficulties are not even visible to others, but they make us feel different, and we may do things that others don't understand. Yet all of these challenges often give us strength that others can't imagine. I hope by seeing yourself or your friends in this story, you will understand that we're all different, and you will find that notion comforting and empowering. Sorry, I missed a line. I hope, too, that you will recognize what we have in common, instead of fearing our differences or ignoring them. We can shed light on them and explore them together. If you ever wonder why someone is doing something different from other kids, just ask. Sonia Sotomayor. Hi. I love this artwork. Rafael Lopez is a great artist. Hi, I'm Sonia. My friends and I are planting a garden. Gardens are magical places. Thousands of plants bloom together, but every flower, every berry, and every leaf is different. Each has a different smell, different color, different shape, and different purpose. Some flowers need lots of sunlight. Others thrive in the shade. Some have to be trimmed regularly, while others are better off left alone. Some trees and flowers are more fragile, and others are more hardy. Ooh, hardy, that's an interesting word. Hardy just means they can stand up to things better, like wind and rain and sun. They're just better able to weather the environment. Kids are all different too. Some of us are in a hurry, and others take more time. Some of us seem shy and quiet, while others are chatty and loud. Some of our differences are easy to spot. Others take longer to notice. Each of us grows in our own way, so if you are curious about other kids, just ask. Like this. There's lots of different people in this book. Not everyone is comfortable answering questions about themselves, but I don't mind. What am I doing? Several times a day, I prick my finger to measure the sugar in my blood, and I give myself shots of medicine called insulin. I do this because I have diabetes, and my body doesn't make insulin naturally like other people's. Even though this can sometimes hurt, I gather all of my courage to do it to be healthy. Do you ever need to take medicine to be healthy? That's a good question. I'm going to think for a second. I want you to, too. Do you ever take medicine to feel healthy? Okay. Talk to your families about it. I would talk to you about it, but it's hard to talk to a YouTube channel, isn't it? I do. My name is Raphael, and I have asthma, which means I sometimes have trouble breathing. When that happens, I take a break and use an inhaler with medicine to make breathing easier. Quiet time helps me slow down and catch my breath. My inhaler is like a tool to help my body. Do you use a tool to help your body? Ooh, that's a great question. Do you use a tool to help your body? I know, I do, and I actually just touched them. I wear glasses because right now I'm sitting less than 2 feet from my computer and it's really blurry and I can barely see anything. But I wear glasses to help my eyes see better. So we've met Sonia, the author of the book, and Raphael, who both are a little different. I'm Anthony, and I use a wheelchair to get around. Even though I can't run with my legs, I can go super fast. How do you get from place to place? So there's Anthony. My name is Madison, and my guide dog Lucky helps me get places safely because I'm blind. My friend Arturo is blind too. He uses a cane to get around. Even though we can't see, we strengthen our senses and notice a lot of details others may miss. We can hear with our ears, smell with our noses, and feel with our hands. How do you use your senses? I love this. So some people might use a cane or have a dog that helps them get around. I like this. Like when I see these pictures, it makes me think of these sounds. Like when I see a cricket, I think of the sounds of crickets at night. Or ladybugs, if you've ever heard a bug fly that's got really big wings. It's pretty obvious when you hear them. I'm VJ. I learn about the world differently because I can see, but I can't hear. I'm deaf. Most of the time I communicate with people using my face and hands through sign language. It's cool to know another language. I also love reading and writing. What about you? Ooh, that's a great question, VJ. Do I love reading? Yes, I do. I also know a little bit of, let's see if I can remember it. I think it's sign. So I used to know a lot of kids who it was easier for them to communicate with sign than to use their voices, even though they could hear. Sometimes having sign language helps kids learn. So you'll see me use that occasionally. Like when we've had circle and you'll raise your hand or start talking and I'll do this. It means wait. I need to learn their sign. I'm Bianca and I have dyslexia. So I have to work really hard and take my time when I'm reading and writing words. Sometimes I use computer programs to help me. I love learning by doing things. My imagination is full of ideas, and I'm very good at making art from pictures I see in my mind. Are you really good at something? What's interesting is Bianca and I have something in common. We both have dyslexia, which just means our brains work a little differently. Although, I must say, Bianca is a better artist than I am. I'm much better at building things. I'm great at dinosaurs. I know all about them. I'm Jordan, and I have autism. Organizing and counting all my toy dinosaurs again and again makes me feel calm. My classmate Tiana also has autism, but it's different for her. She doesn't talk, but I like to talk. I especially like to talk about dinosaurs. What do you like to talk about? I know somebody else in our class who likes to talk about dinosaurs. For me, listening comes more easily than talking, and I'm a really good listener. My name is Anne, and I speak with a stutter. So sometimes, so I sometimes repeat a word or get stuck when I try to say it. It may take me a little longer to express myself, and sometimes I'm too shy to talk, but I understand everything that's going on. Do you ever wonder if people understand you? I'm pretty good at speaking, and sometimes I wonder if people understand me. So let's go back and read that question again. Do you ever wonder if people understand you? I do. My name is Julia. Sometimes I wiggle or make sounds that I can't control because I have Tourette's syndrome. People may look at me funny because they think I'm not paying attention or just acting out, but it's not true. I am listening. I don't always like having to explain it. It frustrates me, but it helps me when I tell people that it's just what my body does. Do you ever feel frustrated? There's some big words on this. My name is Manuel, and I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I don't like the word disorder. I would much rather they call it difference, but sometimes we have to use the words that others give us. It is also called ADHD. I can get frustrated when I really feel the need to move around, even though I'm supposed to sit still. When my teachers and friends are patient with me, I forget, or if I forget something or get distracted, I can get myself back on track. You know, I feel this way sometimes too, where I just can't sit still. But it's different for people with ADHD. They really can't sit still. But we can still love them and accept them because they're fun to play with and they're really good at running. Some of them, some not so much. Everybody's different. Manuel looks like he's good at running. I'm Nolan. It's helpful to me when the food I eat has a clear label that says it is nut-free because I am allergic to nuts. They can make me so sick that I would have to go to the hospital if I ate any, even by accident. So I always tell people about my allergy and ask if any food has nut ingredients. Speaking up keeps me healthy. How do you use your voice? Oh, that's a great question. That one I actually want you to think about for a little bit. How do you use your voice? Do you use it to ask for things you want? To ask people to stop if you don't want something? To tell people what you're thinking? To give your opinion like we were talking about in writing on our other video? How do you use your voice? I want you to talk to your families about that. How do you use your voice? And why is it important to use your voice? Or why is it important to sometimes be quiet? I really want you to talk to your families about that. I love to sing and I love to talk. I love to make new friends and be included. I'm Grace. I was born with Down syndrome. Kids like me with Down syndrome have an extra building block called a chromosome in our bodies, but we are all different from each other too. I can do almost anything any other kid can do, though learning new things can take some time. One way I learn is to ask questions. That's a great way to learn, Grace. What helps you learn? It's me, Sonia again. I ask questions too. When something seems different or new, I just ask my parents or my teachers, and they help me to understand, especially if my friends don't feel ready to explain. This is what I've learned. Imagine if all the plants in this garden were exactly the same. Like, what if we only could grow peas? That would mean no strawberries, or cucumbers, or carrots, or collard greens. It might also mean no trees or roses or sunflowers. Just like our garden, all the ways we are different make our neighborhood, our whole world really, more interesting and fun. And just like